Hey besties, can I vent to y'all really quickly? I am overwhelmed. So overwhelmed. You know, being a mother, a wife, a full-time worker, I don't think we get our credit for how much we multitask and do to make everything run smoothly. Like, people just see things running smoothly, but they don't see the logistics and the chaos behind it that us women go through in our heads, physically, mentally coordinating to make these things run. And I'm just so overwhelmed. And I feel like we get tired. I feel like we get embarrassed or maybe a little cautious to say that out loud, but fuck that. I'm overwhelmed. I am tired. You know what I need right now? I would love to be in a hotel room by myself for the weekend in silence. Just me, myself, and my thoughts, okay? Where nobody needs me, nobody's asking me for anything, where I can be as selfish as I want and I only have to worry about me. This mama needs a break. Does anyone out there know how that feels or can relate?
Okay. A few things about this. Women are celebrated. Women are overly celebrated. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You never hear men complaining about all the things that they do in a marriage, in a relationship, in a family in order to keep things going. And we know that they do a lot because when you remove the family, that family goes to hell in a handbasket. 9 times out of 10, that family goes to hell. And when that father isn't there offering guidance, structure, leadership, protection, and wisdom, that family is destroyed. But you don't hear men getting up here talking about, I'm just so overwhelmed. I have to do everything. I have to carry all the load for everybody. Women are not expected to do everything. You all are actually expected to do something that is that's not even that hard. And we know it's not that hard because you're willing to quit your jobs and just become stay-at-home wives again. So many women are saying, I would rather just be a stay-at-home wife. Well, why? Because you know it's easier. So this whole, like, I love ladies, but y'all pat yourselves on the back way too hard all the time. And it's because you find just doing a little bit of work so challenging. A little bit of work, you get so overwhelmed over it and challenging. You feel like something so small is extraordinary. There was a guy who I did a video about him, and he was saying how he's a stay-at-home dad and he homeschools, I think 5 or 6 kids. He was like, this is the easiest thing ever. And it is easy. Women are so chaotic and you don't have structure. That is why simple things seem hard to you. It's not because you have to do everything under the sun and you're doing everything while everybody gets to sit back and kick their feet up. That's not it. It may seem like that, but that's not it, because that man is doing a hell of a lot of work. And it shows by just look at the families that don't have a father. Look at the single mother families. But then if you look at the single fathers, they're like, children do the same if they're raised by their parents or if they're just raised by the father. They do exactly the same. Which shows you that the father is like the key factor in the well-being of that child when they're growing up. But you never hear women talk about that because they only see what they do because they're self-centered. A lot of them are, especially in today's time.
To be honest, I feel like women aren't supposed to work hard. I feel like women get sick. I mean, physically sick from working too hard. This is B with Fresh Cheese reporting women weren't wired to work hard. I'm not saying they weren't wired to work at all, but to work hard. Me and my best friend were on the phone. We had a long conversation last night, and we were just talking about how, you know, this world is taking a toll on our bodies and it's taking a toll on like our minds. And she was basically telling me how she works 2 jobs now, like 2 jobs, and she's a mother. She works 2 jobs. She's a mother. And, you know, it's taking a toll on her just a little bit, you know, her mind. And she's just like, oh my God, I don't know how much longer I can deal with this. And I was like, girl, me too. My back be hurting. Like, oh my gosh, y'all. Ooh, you know, I work a lot. We're not wired the way men are, the way that our anatomy is made up. They're designed to work hard and go hunt and go fight and da-da-da. We're not. We're designed to just carry babies, take care of the home, you know, do that kind of work. And when women get stressed out and when they're working too hard, they get physically sick. I know so many women that spent their whole lives working their careers, ended up with cancer, ended up breaking down, ended up like, I don't think it's good. You will get physically sick. Your body will start fighting you. That is just what it is. Y'all be easy on yourselves. I know it's a hard time right now. Be easy on yourself. Make sure you're taking care of yourself.
I agree, actually. I agree that women are not supposed to be working as hard as they are. But listen, we didn't do this. Y'all chose this lifestyle. You chose to go out here and work. You chose these things. You were being taken care of, but you chose to leave your men because you wanted to do it on by yourself. Y'all are the ones that said that anything a man can do, I can do too. And now we're seeing that that is not true. Now we're seeing that y'all are not fit to go out here and work and compete with men. Men don't see you as competition because you're not even close to the things that we can do. Generally speaking, you can't come close to outwork. You will never outwork us because we're built for this. Young ladies listening to this, find you a good man who has ambition and actual goals in life and who just isn't a fun guy. That'll give you a dopamine release whenever you want to go and do something. Find a man that has a plan. You have to look years down the road, not for next week. Look years down the road and say, which man is going to be better suited to take care of me? Stop living in this delusional world. Like, oh, we going to have matching Range Rovers and matching G-Wagons and he going to take care of me and I'm going to just be, I'm going to have a business on the side to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, no, you're not. Stop. No, you're not. You're going to have a nice Honda. He's going to have a nice Toyota. Y'all going to have bills. The kids are going to need braces and y'all going to live on. You're just average people. I'm an average person, but average people are the ones that make nations great. Everybody can't be this top 10 luxury lifestyle. It's just not in the numbers.
Here's some financial advice that you don't want to hear that you need to hear. I have seen so many videos lately with young women saying, oh, I'm just so tired of working. I just want to get married. And it makes me freaking cringe. Ladies, listen up. A man is not a financial plan. And if you're tired of working and decide that you're going to be married to a man and not work, these are the other things that you're going to be tired of. You're going to be tired of a dude trying to control you because he controls your money and you have absolutely no say-so in the relationship. You are going to be tired of a man talking about you behind your back to all of his friends, talking about how his wife spends all his money. And you're going to be tired of a man not giving you the respect that you deserve because you are not bringing anything monetarily to the table. And those guys that are like, oh, I want to provide and protect. I am the man and that's what I want to do. That's just code word for I want to control my wife and I want her to be submissive. So if you're tired of working and just want to get married so a man can support you, understand that you're going to be tired of those things too.
But like, this is bad faith though. When women talk, first of all, she's not married, so she's talking about something that she doesn't even know what she's talking about. The men don't want to control you and do what? That's like my biggest thing. Control you and do what? Women think if a man says, hey, I don't want you going out at nighttime or I don't want you going on a girl trip, that's control. That's not control. That's leading his family. The women are so chaotic that they don't even understand the difference between what is controlling and what is structure and guidance. They're so used to just thriving in chaos that anything that resembles structure, they say that it's chaotic. They say that it's controlling. A man, look, if you just look in the past, women were happier. They had control of the money. A man is not designed. See, this is another thing. Women project a lot too. They think they're so, and they live in fear. They're so scared that a man is just going to control them, and because they listen to other women, and other women just give like the worst advice, like this woman we just watched. That's terrible advice. A man that loves his woman is not just going to control her just for the heck of it. And then when you say control her to do what? What does he want her to do? Control her to do what? If a man has enough money that his woman can be a stay-at-home wife, first of all, that's a privilege. And then second of all, yes, he's not going to allow her to spend all of the money. You can't spend all of the money, especially when I'm the only one working. So even if that man, let's do it her way. Let's just say the wife has full range of the finances and she's a stay-at-home mom. If that husband allows her to just have free range to the money and then she spends it all, because women are terrible with money, eventually she's going to look at him and say, where's all the money? He's going to say, well, you spent it all. She's going to say, well, why would you allow me to spend all the money if you're supposed to be the leader and the guider and the guidance? You're supposed to be the structure. You're supposed to know what's best. Why would you allow me to spend all this money? And then it's going to turn right back on him too. It's not a control thing. It's just a common sense thing. But again, women are used to to living in chaos. Anything that looks like just logic and structure, they're going to deem it as something being wrong. Oh, he's possessive. He wants to control me. He doesn't want me doing that. Oh, he's insecure. No, he's trying to set you both up to live good in the long run. There's a reason why this woman isn't married. There's a reason. And when old women get to a certain age and they're not married, then they try to flip it and make it seem like that there's something wrong with the man and that they chose not to get married. No, lady, nobody wanted you. Nobody wanted you, ma'am. Which is why you're still single with your gray hairs coming through and your lipstick. And I can tell that she's not a bad looking lady. So when she was younger, she probably had to run of the mill. But she probably went out here, had all these hot girl summers, listening to other women scare her with all these stories that aren't even true. Oh, this man's going to try to do something to you if you get married. It's ridiculous. But guys, that's it for today's video. If you haven't already done so, hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Please, please, please hit that hype button because it helps out the channel and I would greatly appreciate it. If you want a good video, click this one on your top left. If you want a great one, click this on your top right, and I will see you on another one.